Live. Oh God, are we live? Yes, we are. We're live. Oh my God, we're back. These magnificent women are back, and this is a very, very special episode. Every time I say that, I feel like it's like a sitcom, like like one of the. This is a special episode of Friends that deals with blah, 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 blah. Well, we're gonna deal with something different. Um, of course there is chastity, but there's a whole other fetish that chastity does have a place for, but not always. They're not mutually exclusive. This is a very special episode. This is a panel episode. This is the YKF orgasm denial episode. So you love her. You wish you could be locked up by her. Please welcome the magnificent Chastity Queen. Say hi.
Hello.
and there's Jade Desires, who I interviewed recently, who we hit it off very well, and I know these two are going to hit it off. We talked about orgasm denial and everything like that before, and she had some very insightful but also very funny things going on with orgasm denial. So please bow down and worship Jade Desires. Say hi.
Hello.
Now everybody watching this should worship these two women. They're amazing. And not only that, they're really smart and funny at the same time. So, all right, here are the questions. Now, we don't have to stick to this format, but I'm asking basically both of you the same questions. So, is there someone who wants to go answer the questions first, or one question first, and then the second person enter, or do you want to go back and forth? Is there any, you want to do two? All right.
I was going to say I would, defer to the queen.
Yeah. Okay, so Chastity Queen, before we get into orgasm denial, which is all we're going to talk about on this episode, but I got to ask, what have you been up to since last we spoke?
Since last we spoke, I've gotten more keys to, so there's chastity. I have enforced a lot of orgasm denial online, not so much in person, but online, and it's been a success. I am training one man at a time and turning it into a beautiful field full of men. So join my army.
Okay. And Jade Desires, what have you been up to since last we talked?
I've been vaccinated, which is, I've never been more excited to get a shot in my life. But it's exciting because I like needles. So
yeah, I got vaccinated too, and everybody's like, I like look right at it like an insane person.
Oh, it's an endorphin rush. It was great.
Yeah.
The next day, not so much, but
question? Oh, I'm sorry, go.
Yeah. But besides that, I've been taking a little time off because I've had some, family stuff going on. But besides that, been seeing more people, which has been great since everything's sort of opening up. And actually, I had a really exciting day today because one of my service subs got his first tattoo, which is my nickname for him. And I watched the whole process, and we had a drink afterwards to celebrate. So it was a pretty good day, especially since we had a session yesterday and I totally wore him out.
Yeah, it was like 6 hours, right?
Oh, it was an entire day. And there was lots of orgasm denial involved. So
okay.
It's a good day to talk about it.
Blake Hudson goes to Chastity Advice. Are those keys around your neck is real?
Yes,
it's too many in number.
Except for this one's not real, and I have another one that is ornamental that was given to me by my latest recruit, Chastity King. I've called him because he is an extreme dom and sadist, and he has submitted to me as his queen.
Ooh.
So I am above him. So he is Chastity King, but I'm still his queen, and I'm above him. So I'm
Yeah,
very
that is
excited.
that's pretty cool. Oh my God, you two have so much power. It's crazy. Okay, so for those who don't know, orgasm denial is exactly what it sounds like. You're denying people having orgasms, as horny as they get. So, you personally, once again, we go Chastity Queen first. I mean, Jade first, Chastity Queen second. What do you personally like about orgasm denial?
I love the control of it. And I think I said this in the last interview. I'm a total voyeur. And there's nothing better than watching and hearing and like just feeling someone's denial and the different emotions that cross their, whole persona when they just desire to orgasm. And the fact that they're giving up control to you to give them permission or not is just so incredibly sexy and erotic. Having the control over something that is so basic and yet so primal, and being such a primal player, it's just so incredibly hot. Again, like I was playing yesterday and I got my son and I were laughing about it today. I got so many new sounds out of him that I had never heard before, and it's just really rewarding. I'm sure Chastity Queen can speak on it to more levels than that.
You could sample the sound.
What's that?
You could sample the sounds and make records.
Yes.
We should do a dominatrix record, All right, Chastity Queen, why do you personally love orgasm denial?
Well, I'm into feminization,
Yes.
right? So I
Sure.
like them to, your face. It's like, yeah. To me, it's, when they're in chastity and I'm denying them any orgasm, it brings them a little bit more into a feminine realm of heightened arousal. Females can have multiple orgasms, and the beauty of that is that they tend to be more intense. A man can go and masturbate, and jerk off, and I don't know what's the time limit here? Like 2 minutes? Is that even a lot for like a habitual masturbator? He could probably come in what, 60 seconds if he's got problems. Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm teaching them how to refrain from that. And that is what's exciting, because it's giving them the ability to realize what it's like to um, become more heightened in their arousal.
Interesting. I don't know what this is about. Dino, Animal, Voice, Kapil, Yashra. I'm your slave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Okay.
got an email. Yeah.
Okay.
I got an email today. He wants to be my slave, but he's got to do some work.
Okay. Speaking of slaves, why do you think subs like orgasm denial?
For a lot of different reasons. I think a lot of folks go into orgasm denial because they like to hand over control to someone. But then there's also the sensation of it, because like Chastity Queen said just now, a lot of men are just, if you are a chronic masturbator, or, you're getting off all the time, to sort of hold back, it creates such a more powerful like orgasm when you're finally able to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just a new sensation. I think the people who really are sensation sluts, like myself, you really want to get to the height of these different sensations, especially when it comes to climax. And there's so many different ways. I think a lot of women can speak to this, as you were saying, you know, with feminization. Women, every time you orgasm, it's a little different. And I think with men, they want to try to reach those similar levels in some fashion. And to have someone in control of that and kind of guiding you on that journey is really powerful, especially when there's other erotic and fun things involved.
Okay. All right, Chastity.
I agree.
Okay, that's it. What's your answer?
Oh, I agree with what she was saying. Okay, so we're going punk rock style. Yeah, just rephrase the question again for me.
Why do you think subs like orgasm denial?
Because they're handing over their sexuality to you. So if they're, for example, somebody who has you know, a very alpha vanilla life, to be able to hand over masturbation, you know, that orgasm to somebody else is giving the control over to, you know, their dominant. And that is it's exciting because you never know when she's going or he's going to allow you to come. So yeah, I got kind of lost in what Jade was saying, and I was, you know, following with that. But you know, I think that's probably where it is for me and for submissive men. Yeah.
Blake Hudson says 60 seconds is even too much nowadays for boys.
Yeah. And a lot of young guys, they can't even come hardly. It takes them forever, and they're, you know, 18 plus, you know, 18 to 25, and they can only get off on, you know, one particular thing, or I don't know what it is. It's strange, but there's definitely things are changing on the scene with men in particular.
There's a show just came out on Hulu. Well, the final season did. It's called Shrill, and I'd highly recommend the first episode. Because the woman is Adie Bryant from Saturday Night Live is the main person, and she's with the guy, and they're like all standing up, and all of a sudden he's just like, like just not even penetration or anything. Okay, did you ever use orgasm denial on women?
Yeah.
And
What's that?
I said, how is that different besides the fact that, you know, it's a different sex?
Well, I mean, I have one female submissive who I see pretty regularly right now, and she's big on orgasm denial. And with women, it's a little bit different because they can come so many different times, especially the true sluts that I love. And what's one thing that's wonderful about that is when you deny them, especially when you bring them like almost right to that crest where they're so ready, and then you like take something away, whether it's the Hitachi, the vibrator, you know, your fingers, and to see the crest fall and look like, oh my God, I was almost there. They know it's coming later, and it makes it that much more powerful, similar to men. But I think with women, it's sometimes even better. I mean, I'm bisexual and I love women. It's even better because you can get to that place so many more times, which maybe that makes it extra special for men too, because they only get it once. And women can be greedy and get it more often.
All right, Chastity.
I would say that once you train the men, well, I mean, okay, no, I've not done it on a female. I've played with a female once, and I just prefer sissies and you know, trans men, anybody who's effeminate, that sort of thing. So, but I will say I'm a female and I do it to myself, because what I achieve with my orgasms is multi-leveled. And I think that, you know, maybe as you get to know your body, You learn what those levels are, and when you get to a certain level, I don't know if Jade has experienced this before. Probably, I wouldn't doubt it. Or your slutty submissive girl. I call it a mind explosion, a mind orgasm, and it goes to. It's almost to the extent where after I achieve it, I edge, I edge, I edge, I edge. I use my submissive to, with the dildo and all that, to do whenever, I want it in, or, the speed, whatever. But it's when I get to the point where I know I'm going to come in my mind. So, I could have squirted 5 times, but there's a specific orgasm that is almost like fireworks in your brain, and you can almost feel it's almost as if your brain ejaculates. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. I'm certain probably yes. Do you know what I'm talking about, Jade?
I wish I did. I just loved what you said. I am so I so can't edge myself. I am so greedy. I just want to come. And I've always wanted to try edging, but every single time I do, I just go from like 10 to 0. And I'm like, oh, this is so not worth it for me. But again, I love seeing women orgasm, and just you describing it, I'm like, oh yeah, please go on.
Well, I would say that you should continue trying and use your submissives to help you achieve it. A lot of it is breathing as well, visualization, and taking the orgasm from the vagina into the mind. And I think that's why I enjoy Chastity so much, is because, I was raised in a very chaste situation as from birth up till I was an adult. So that's my background. But and sex was taboo. But for me, I've gotten to the point where I've explored it, and now I can get to that mind orgasm, and it's better than even squirting. Like I lose my hearing. It's insane. Like my hearing starts to go muffled. I can't get up quickly. I think my blood pressure gets all screwed up, and then I will wait for another few days and edge and have my slave edge me, and it's just, it happens again. And it's almost an addiction. Like, I don't know if I would call it sex addiction, because it's not really that. It's orgasm addiction, So I have a problem.
Especially if it's so powerful.
I have a problem. Help me.
You can start your pinky friend's rehab.
I don't want. You know what? I don't want an intervention.
I was just gonna say I would help you in probably the wrong way or the right way.
Probably in the right way.
Blake Hudson's back. Have you ever in real life made a woman lock her husband or boyfriend up?
Yep. Oh yeah.
I've advised them to.
Okay. Jade.
I can I interject about that?
Of course.
I have a good friend, and he's a switch, and his submissive partner, she wanted to learn about chastity, so she came over, and I showed her all the ins and outs on how to put it on. I gave him a device, and we practiced tease and denial on him. So it was very exciting to do that, Yeah, I've done it, Blake.
Definitely. Okay. So Jade, what is the longest time you've actually denied someone an orgasm?
The longest time I've denied someone an orgasm is about 3 months. And I'm not super big into denying someone for a long time. For me, it's more pleasurable for me to deny someone to a point where they're, and it depends on the person, begging, you know, I'm just getting the most visual and oral experience out of them myself as a voyeur. Once I hit that point, I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to let you get off, and then let's do it again. Because it's really more about my pleasure in it than theirs. So, you know, and I'm a greedy slut, so I want as much as possible.
I like her. She needs to try a chastity device. No.
So, Chastity Queen, what's the longest you had someone? And chastity does count. Like having a chastity device does count.
Yeah.
But what's the longest you've had someone you refused or denied an orgasm? So.
I had somebody in chastity, long distance, but with keys, and he wasn't allowed to come, and he lasted 1 year.
Wow.
And it was accidental. I've talked about this in other interviews. He was on a trip because he worked in the court system, and he was on a trip, and his tires were a little bit misaligned, and I had been texting him a little bit when he was like off having his, you know, lunch or whatever, and he got back in the car, and the wheels were kind of shimming a little bit, and he was concerned, but he was worked up, and he hit some speed bumps. And he had to pull onto the side of the road, and he texted me immediately and said, I fucked up. Like, I just came in my chastity. What am I going to do? You know, I said, tell me what happened. He tells me what happens. I laugh. And I said, well, you're going to have to pay cum tax. So he sent me a tribute for $300 cum tax. And we started fresh.
Good boy.
Yeah.
And since he's a lawyer and in court, he's like, and now I got to do this murder trial.
Well, he's not a lawyer. He does all of the, you know, displays and stuff. Like he helps. He's kind of like the prep guy who does all of the displays for, the visual for, what the balcony looked like. He had to, design the balcony and show how she might have fallen off and the whole 9 yards. So it's pretty cool. He wasn't flush with money, but, in that instance, he had the money to give, and he did. He gave it to me.
Julio Grant says, how do you feel about edging without a chastity device versus with one?
I'd say it depends on the person. I would say, if I had to choose a preference, it would be without a chastity device, because I am a very tactile person, and I feel like I can get a better gauge on when someone is hitting an edge versus with a device, which, takes a lot longer. And again, me being greedy and wanting to get to that place, I tend to prefer without a device. But if I really want to tease the fuck out of someone, and especially if it involves a little like tease and denial and then a little CBT, a device is probably my go-to for things like that.
Now, chastity, I think it's safe to assume, Chastity Queen, that you prefer the chastity device.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I prefer all men to be locked up. It does the world a service, in my opinion. And to be let out, just, kind of like parole, little parole visits with their hand. But jerk off instruction is fun. I'm not a fan of men that masturbate. There's a lot of people with masturbating issues. I don't shame them. If that's your thing, great. But it's kind of a turn off for me in particular. And I think a lot of women are turned off just thinking that their husband's like hunkered over, or their boyfriend or whoever got their cock in their hand in the bathroom, trying to whip one off quick, when they're watching something on their fucking device, getting cum all over the screen, like it's kind of a turn off. So I would say only out of the cage if I can do jerk off instruction.
Okay. Julio's back says, the speed bump things is is an unlikely story. How far fetched of an excuse would you accept from a sub, and what is the most unbelievable excuses you have heard?
No, Julio. No. Very bad man. You know why I say that? This man, I trusted him. He was in Chastity for 1 year. He proved himself. That was not far-fetched. That was real. He showed me. There were pictures. There was proof.
Yeah.
Very
I don't think he's doubting you. I think he just was like, that's a wild excuse. What are some of the wild excuses that you've heard in the past?
Well, that wasn't an excuse, but most of them, when they decide that they're going to jerk off and fuck up with me, disappear like little ghosts.
Okay. Now, there's something obviously called a ruined orgasm. And basically, that's when either the person's touching themselves or you're touching them. And then right when they're about to come, you just like back off, or they have to let go, and they just come. So it still is an orgasm, but it's not like an orgasm, whether it's penetration or I guess full contact or anything like that. So personally, do you prefer a orgasm denial, or do you prefer a ruined orgasm?
Depends on the situation. I mean, I love orgasm denial. But if a situation calls for it, like for example, I had a client the other day and we were doing lots of orgasm denial. And especially when I work with somebody who's a little bit newer, I'm always like, okay, you're going to tell me once you reach like a 9 out of 10. And they always say 9 before it's really a 9. And then I go a little more and I'm like, clearly that wasn't a 9. And I stop. And I'm like, so you need to know yourself better. And so we keep trying and trying. And, I keep denying them until that point where they're like, I'm like, okay, we'll just keep going until I believe it's that. And typically that means it's a ruined orgasm. Because it's such a delight to see it on their face when they're like, fuck, you know me better than I did. Like, oh, that's so sad. I'm so sorry. That's when it's better than orgasm denial.
So, Chastity, orgasm denial or ruined orgasm?
Ruined at my hands, denial at my mouth. So, yeah. I love to ruin. I love to ruin up the ass. I love to ruin with the sounds, with your urethral sounds. Hit their P-spot, and just let it drain out of that fucking tip. Otherwise, you listen to me, you're not going to come. You come, you don't get to listen to this anymore, and that's it. That's the bottom line.
Okay, so humiliation sometimes can play a role in it. I mean, just like DOMs, I said this before to both of you. Like, I personally think there's a spectrum. There's like the sadistic dom, and then there's the loving dom, then there's everything in between, and some lean towards one side more than the other. Do you often use humiliation and degradation when it comes to orgasm denial?
Well, that's a tricky question for me, because humiliation is such a it's such a sensitive topic to so many people. What's humiliating for one person might not be for the next. So especially like when it comes to a ruined orgasm, and I'm like, oh, look what you did. That's really humiliating for some people, whereas other people are like, God damn it. And so for me, I do some humiliation, especially if I'm like, oh, you ruined it. That's terrible. And you can see the look on their face like, oh my God, I did. This is horrible. and that humiliation and like the blush that pops up. That's just so wonderful. So it really depends on the person, but I do certainly engage in it, especially for those people who blush easily.
Okay, Chastity.
I love humiliation. Love it. I would say, with clients before I interact with them, we discuss limits, hard limits, and what words they don't like me to use. Sometimes there could be a trigger word that's bothersome. So I establish that, then all bets are off, and then I can have fun. And if I'm dealing, and then it's humiliation could be any number of things, but I think the most common one for when you orgasm and you're not supposed to is you eat it. And what they'll tell me is this: "Oh, mistress, make me eat it no matter what. If I come, make me eat it no matter what. That'll be my punishment." Right? The minute they come, "Oh no, no, I don't want to eat it." So what I do is we establish the limits. I tie them up and I say, "Look, you consent to eating your cum?" "Yes, mistress." "Oh, yes. Oh, I'll do it. And when they come, I don't give a shit if they say no. I just make them eat it.
It's even better when you collect it in a condom and you have them tied with a gag. Like, well, you consented.
Yeah. Now, I think with if you're dealing with a male subject versus female, and I hate to be so gender specific, but men kind of, if they say yes, like this is what's going to happen when I orgasm, I'm not going to want to eat it, feed it to me anyway, and you have that conversation, then I feel comfortable in doing it. If I'm dealing with a female and if I were to be edging her, for example, if it was me, I'm edging myself, and I fucking squirt and I'm not supposed to, and I decide after the fact I'm not gonna, I don't want to drink it, then I probably wouldn't push it so much in that arena. I don't know if that is unbalanced and unfair, but in my experience, a lot of men tend to come and say, "I want to eat it. It's been my fantasy to eat it," and I'll say, "Yes, I'll do it." But how I explain it to them is this: when girls play with themselves, they've tasted themselves. What's the difference, right? When they give you a blowjob, they're drinking it. That's hot. Try your cum. It's all good.
My favorite thing is when men are like, "Oh my God," after they come, they're like, that's I can't do it. It's so gross. And I'm like, have you ever came in a girl's mouth?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, so you're too good for it, but she wasn't?" And they're looking at me and I'm like, "Okay. Let's play that game."
That's some sadism.
Exactly. Let's talk about this double standard.
Exactly. It exists.
Talking about eating cum, I'm sure you know about this, but for those who don't, there are actual cookbooks that you can make recipes with cum.
I've done it.
What'd you make?
I've got the ingredients for cum under my cupboard. Yeah, if I pull it out, I could tell you what it is. It's been a while, but I had a guy who wanted to eat a lot of loads. So I only had like maybe I had 5 or 6 loads and he wanted like 10. So I kind of like, did a little science magic in my kitchen, made some cum, poured in the other cum, and yum, yum, yum down the hatch. And he likes sounding too, so it was fun.
Oh God.
I know people who take like an ice cube tray and make the guy fill it up, and they take little toothpicks, so they make little cum pups.
Yeah.
And I think Chastity Queen, I think we discussed this on the very first episode, but there was a dominant I was talking to, and she made the guy jerk off in a condom, and then take the key, put it in the cum-filled condom, tie the condom, put the condom in a paper towel roll, and put that in the freezer, and then take out the paper towel roll and made him fuck himself with his own cum and his key.
I was gonna say, was it a popsicle that he had to lick till he got to the center?
No, I don't know what happened. I should have asked what happened afterwards. Nate says I love the queen.
I love you, Nate.
Chastity queen. Enough said.
He's a sweetheart.
Okay.
He's so good to me.
Nice. And Aaron's back. Oh, I haven't talked to him in a while. Hello, Nicholas and goddesses. And that's great. You got the G right. It's capital G. Okay. Now let's talk about something. And of course, we always get this question. What do you think about a human toilet? This is a chastity episode. This is not the human toilet episode. Check out the human toilet episodes, which we didn't make yet. But now, how do you deal? I love Jade Desire's infectious laugh.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so how do you deal with begging? Because I'm sure some of these guys, and maybe even women, beg you for release.
Oh, I just tease them. I mean, I love hearing the pleading. It's the different, variations in the tone of their voice. And, I tease them. I'm like, no, beg me more. Maybe I'll do it next time. No, keep going. I really want to hear it. I do encourage begging, and because I like to hear it, but ultimately it's up to me and how I'm feeling, and if I'm feeling generous or greedy,
Okay.
And I just the little screen coming. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sometimes it's good if you back up a little bit.
Okay.
Like if you go like this sometimes.
So begging, it happens. I mean, it's cute. It doesn't mean I'm going to change my mind. So it's almost futile. Begging is.
Begging futile. That's out of like a movie. Begging is futile.
Don't do it. It's futile.
I feel like that should be a caption on a meme.
I'll do it.
All right, that's going in the quotes.
Okay. I have a surprise for you at the end of this.
Episode. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this on camera stuff or off camera stuff?
Oh, it's off.
Okay. No problem. That's cool.
Oh, no, it's on. Oh, I can tell you on camera.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. It might be funny.
All right. So people out there, don't beg and try to find out what the surprise is, because begging is futile. All right. So, what are some, even though it's orgasm denial, what are some creative ways you could deny people orgasm? Like, I would say, and please correct me if I'm wrong here. Okay. I would say is basically you saying you're not allowed to come. Simple as that. No matter what I do. But are there any kind of like maybe creative ways that are a little different that you've encountered or that you do?
So one of the best ways that I've found that is very challenging, and I also think that it's quite helpful for a lot of people, is if somebody, if I want somebody to really be mindful about like the sensations in their body and this and that, I'll be like, well, you can't orgasm unless you can get yourself to orgasm mentally. And that I find that more women than men can do that. But it's a really huge challenge. And I do love challenges. And I love challenging my submissives. So if I really want to get someone somewhere, and it's a huge tease because they're teasing themselves at my behest, to try to get themselves off mentally, and not until they do, they can't actually orgasm physically. That's a great way to deny them and also get them to sort of push themselves.
Chastity Queen?
Okay, creative ways to stop them from orgasming? Is that the...
Oh, no, just to kind of practice orgasm denial.
Oh, creative ways. Well, always punishment. You know, if you orgasm, for example, I could talk to 5 guys and say, what would be the worst punishment for me to give you if you ejaculate? And they'll say, you know, X, Y, Z, whatever. So I'll write that down. I'll keep note, because usually they're talking to me when they want the denial, right? But you don't talk to them at the end, talk to them at the beginning, figure out the boundaries, and then you know what the expectations are. And if they fail, it's not a punishment, it's a real punishment. Mm-hmm. So it gives them more of inspiration, motivation to remain chaste. And when they do so, they don't get that nasty punishment. And also consider a reward program. So if they achieve, you know, chastity and denial for a week, then they're rewarded with X, Y, Z, whatever it is, you know. So I think the punishment reward system is good with denial, because it's such a, I don't know the word for the need to masturbate, but it's almost it's like my need to have a mental orgasm is like an addiction, you know. So it's kind of like they see their hand, they're getting excited, and they think, oh God, all I have to do is touch it, you know, or play with my balls, tickle my balls, and bam, you know. That's not fun. Turn it into a game.
Interesting. Now, these subs, is orgasm denial something you end up like percentage wise? How many people kind of bring it up and ask for it, and how many versus you kind of either demanding it or suggesting it?
So whenever I work with somebody new, I always send them what I have as an activity list, and orgasm control is on that. And so typically I always use that as sort of a guide to, you know, the activities that people like and where we're going to meet in our desires. That said, I would say pretty much like the majority of the time I'm the one doing it, because it is one of my top activities that I enjoy. So I would say that the majority of the time it's me, because I really do love keeping you from your pleasure as long as you can handle it for my pleasure.
Chastity.
So, I do apologize. I'm a little distracted tonight. So if you could just refresh me on that.
Well, I mean, I think I know the answer
to her, and then I lose the question.
So. I mean, are you the one who usually brings up orgasm denial, or does the sub?
Oh, they're usually curious. They always ask. They say, "Are you going to let me come? You know, or can I come in chastity?" And you know, no, you can't come. And yes, you can come in chastity if you're good, right? So if they're really good, that will be the reward, is they can edge with a vibrator on their chastity device, and you know, maybe they're given a 2-minute window. So, you know, If you don't do it within 2 minutes, you don't ejaculate in your cage in 2 minutes, then another 5 days. That's it.
Wow. Okay. We're wrapping stuff up, and then we'll do the surprise. But you remember the 3-word game, everybody. But this is a little different. This is the orgasm denial version
Oh boy.
of it. So pick a letter, any letter from A to Z, and they all have to be about orgasm denial, and they all have to be with what you love about it.
So I have to pick a letter?
Pick one letter. They all have to start with the same letter.
Okay. And then it all has to do with orgasm control.
Orgasm denial, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, my. This is going to be awful. Let's see. I'm going to go with M. It has to be one word.
No, it can be a word.
Okay. Masturbate, stop.
Okay.
My desire and manipulation.
Okay. Chastity, Queen. 3-letter word on orgasm denial.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say squirt, scrotum, and serious. And the reason I say those 3 words is you will not squirt, only I will squirt. Your scrotum is your only method of masturbation. And I'm extremely serious when I tell you that. As I laugh. Oh.
Orgasm control is serious business.
It is. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hire that lady.
Serious business. Jade. You know I like to put quotes in my summaries. Okay. All right. That's so Julio says sensation, sexy, sadistic.
Nice. Julio. That's
very good.
Very good.
Okay, we've reached the end. So Chastity, what you got for us?
Well, I decided that I was going to do something special for you and the viewers. Aww. And I have a little surprise. I've had a little something under my seat for the whole interview. A little bunny in between my legs.
Oh, hey, it's been a long time. What's up?
Show them your bikini. Here, hold on. Woo! Anyway,
very nice.
I've been practicing orgasm denial. Bunny's been using fingers, dildo, and mouth on me as I've been doing this interview. That it's been a challenge, but I have to challenge myself because we're always challenging men, right? So it's time that the female has the challenge. And you haven't come, have you?
No, my queen.
Very good. Very good. Surprise.
Jade, I told you she's no joke.
The keys said business from the get-go.
Yeah.
What's
all
this?
Right, Mike says basically is, have you ever seen a sub nuts turn blue?
Yes. Yes. It's my favorite color. I love it. It's my favorite color. And I want you to quote this. Nobody ever dies from masturbation, right? And nobody will die if they don't masturbate. Right?
Yeah.
So why masturbate? You're not going to die.
Has someone died from orgasm denial? Someone should find out.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. So that's it. That was very Chastity Queen. That was a surprise, very much worth waiting for.
I hope it wasn't inappropriate.
No, it wasn't. No. Bunny was on the first episode, remember?
I'm sweating, man. Like I'm telling you, I had my vibrator. You know, like we had the works. Where's the dildo? Oh man, it was going in me, man. It was going hard. Woo, Nelly. Right? Here you go. Lick that off. Woo. I should know a hat. God damn it. I want you to get views. I think this will do it.
Yeah, I think so too.
People are trying to masturbate. Julio's a comedian. I love
it. Well, they can wait.
Yeah. Not sure if anyone died, but people are dying to masturbate.
Julio, don't you dare masturbate tonight. You have
Agreed.
Me and Nick to answer to, and Jade.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, they don't mess around.
Watch it. We're gonna put it.
Agreed. In fact, I would say, like, anyone who's watching this, why don't you just not masturbate for 5 days? Unless you're my submissive who has very strict instructions.
Ooh.
And remember the 3 words. Resistance is futile.
Shit, it comes out in waves. God damn it. Oh man. Oh, I might have to cut you off here now and go clean up. Woo, good thing we have a towel down here. Next interview, golden showers.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I can put someone underneath me and piss on them.
Blake says, I don't know about the others, but I'm going to suffer premature ejaculation after watching you both laughing.
Perfect.
whatever works, man.
Just make sure to eat it.
You're like a teardrop. You can't eat a teardrop. Oh, God. Woo, Nelly. Wow.
All right.
For this setting.
Okay, we have reached the end. Please stay on the line like always.
Okay.
And this has been more than fun. Trust me, this made my week. And
welcome home, darling.
Oh, thank you very, very much. So just like the setup, Jade, go first. Promote anything and everything you want. It doesn't have to be kink related if you don't want it to be, but Twitter, FetLife, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, go. Your website.
Well, check out my website, jadedesires.com, and there will be links to everything, my FetLife page, my Instagram, and Twitter. Those are the only places you'll find me, but you'll find plenty of content. So check me out there or hit me up for a session.
Okay. Chastity Queen.
I am getting vaccinated on the 27th of May. So if you want to come over afterwards,
maybe
have a little fun, then contact me. How to contact me? Twitter, Chastity Queen, or Queen of Lockup. And then there's Chastity Kingdom, which I've started, and because I think it's fitting. OnlyFans, and I've started a Lover Fans for my sadistic play, which with the past, what was it? How long has it been? Over a year? We've been locked up in this situation?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want to start beating some people. So come on down. You're the next contestant.
Julie says, I really enjoyed this. I was actually in a meeting when I saw this live. I hung up to watch.
Oh, Julio, we love you.
We appreciate that.
And we love your music too, Julio.
Just don't touch yourself.
Nate, I love you.
Yeah, and Nate says, nobody ever dies from masturbation. No one will. No, but it's they will die if they don't masturbate, so why masturbate? That quote beats any other philosopher in history. Okay, everybody can find me at yourkinkyfriends.com. There's a Discord chat group. I'm rarely on it, but we got a lot of people we got a lot of your kinky friends there. Like Sassy Witch and Luna's there all the time. And so is Tangle Blue the kitten. We have I'm on Twitter at Nicholas Tannick. I'm on Facebook at Nicholas Tannick. We have a YKF group, a secret group on Facebook, so no one's gonna know you're a perv. Your cousin or your boss is not gonna be like, what is this? We're on FetLife. The whole crew's on FetLife at Your Kinky Friends, no spaces. Then we got at Friends Kinky on both on Twitter and Instagram. The whole crew's there. And yeah. So we have a Patreon, patreon.com/YKF. We're gonna start having special, bonus episodes and maybe some merch and stuff like that. But nothing like, like I said, I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for the love. So
Why not both, hon?
Oh, trust me, I'll take both.
You deserve it. Actually, there's a lot of people getting money that aren't half as worthwhile as you and your information. So why don't you take their spot?
Yes, I absolutely encourage folks who follow me to send a little tribute to, Your Kinky Friends.
Yes.
This is an important place for us to get our message out.
Oh, I love you too. I knew you two would get along too. That's like when I spoke to Jade about this, I was like, the first person that came to my mind is like, oh, we got to get Chastity Queen on this. This is like, first of all, not only would they get along, but it'd be informative, it'd be funny, and it's one of the most informative and funniest episodes I've ever did. So,
and she's a smart lady.
Yes. Yeah.
I got lost in her answers so much so that I forgot the questions. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, and that. But
okay, so stay on the line after we're done. I won't take up your time because major rule is never waste a dom's time. And what else? Yeah, that's it. Oh my God, it's getting late.
Yeah.
My dom is calling me. Remember the cardinal rule, everybody. Be cool, be kind, and keep an open mind. Take care.